In example 5, we're asked to find the average rate of change over an interval. I want to give you a heads up that average rate of change is just a fancy way of saying slope. So as a reminder, our slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So in order to do the average rate of change, we need to find two different coordinates. Now this question is saying, find the average rate of change for the function y is equal to f of x. They did not give us an equation of f of x because they gave us the picture. And they're saying, find it over the interval from a to b, and including a and b because we have those square brackets. So the first thing we need to do is actually find the coordinates. Well, we're not going to be using numbers because they didn't actually give us an equation. So that means we have to use some fancy terminology. They told us that we wanted to use a to b. So these are going to be our x values. So I'm going to say that this is x sub 2 and x sub 1. So then we need to find our y values that correspond. So if we go up to our somewhat equation that they gave us, y is equal to f of x. Well, we are identifying x sub 2 is equal to b, and x sub 1 is equal to a. So in order to find our y value, I'm actually going to sub b in for x. Oops. So that's going to be our y sub 2. So y sub 2 is equal to f of b. And we do the same thing for a. So y sub 1 is equal to f of a. So y sub 1 is equal to f of a. So putting them together, we have these coordinates. Our x value is a. Our y value is f of a. Our x value is b. Our y value is f of b. Now, it's much easier to work with numbers, and I will show you an example later. But what I'm trying to get you to do is understand that when we have an input, and in this case a and b, we sub it into our equation and we can get our output, which is in this case f of a and f of b. So if we're going to move forward with finding the average rate of change, which again is our fancy word for slope, then we need to find the difference in our y values. So we take our y value, f of b, and we subtract our other y value, f of a, and that'll be in our numerator. Then we need to find our denominator, which is going to be our x2 minus x1. So in this case, it would be our b minus a. So the change of the vertical distance over the change of the horizontal distance. And when we put it together, we have our formula. Now let's actually practice this on some graphs that have numbers to make it a little bit easier.